Hello guys, welcome to the day 6 of the Python bootcamp guys. I hope that I'm live and everybody can hear me. Welcome guys, welcome to the day 6 of the bootcamp. I hope that I'm live and everybody can hear me. Please confirm into the chat box. Guys, please confirm into the chat box whether I'm live and everybody can hear me. Yeah, good evening guys, good evening. Good evening, guys. Welcome to the day 6 of the boot camp. Can you please confirm whether I'm audible? Okay. That's really nice, guys. Okay, that's really nice to see that everybody can see me and my voice is clearly audible, guys. Okay. Good evening, guys. Good evening. Welcome to the day 6 of Python boot camp, guys. Welcome, guys. I'll wait for 5 minutes. That is till 8:20 so that everybody can join. Till then, if you have any doubts regarding the boot camp, you can ask, guys. Yeah, guys, there would be an off tomorrow. There would be no class tomorrow since it's a national holiday, so there would be no class tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow's class would be conducted day after tomorrow, guys. Okay, fine. I'll give the yesterday's class revision. Don't worry. I'll give the yesterday's class revision in brief, guys. Don't worry about that. Guys, any other doubt regarding yesterday's or day before yesterday's class or any other, you can say, doubts if you want to ask? I'm not going to entertain any question regarding the attendance or project. If you are going to ask the question regarding the attendance or project, I'm not going to entertain that. If you have any other doubt, you can ask. Okay. Okay, we are going to start with file handling tomorrow. Don't worry. Yeah, we are going to discuss the interview questions gradually, Kumari. Don't worry about that. Since once we'll start with the topics, and once the topic is covered, you can say in between we are going to talk about, you can say, your topics related to the interview as well. Don't worry. We have covered many questions that are being asked into the interview regarding the basics as well as advanced. But since we'll jump into more topics today as well as tomorrow, or sorry, day after tomorrow, so we are going to see some more interview questions as well. Don't worry about that. Okay, any other doubts, guys? Good evening, guys. Okay, since it's 8:20, guys, let's get started. I'll not waste much more time. So we'll start now, guys. Please confirm, is my, you can say, this OneNote visible? Please confirm into the chat box, guys. Is my screen visible? Was my screen of OneNote visible, guys? I have shifted the screen earlier. Can anybody confirm? Once I've shifted, was it visible? Please confirm, guys. Okay. That's great, guys. Now we are going to start with loops, guys. Let me just erase what all these things are so that there is no mess. Okay. Now we are going to start with loops, guys. So what exactly are the loops, guys? Now assume that there is one list. Let's just say the list is called as your number, and I've saved something that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 and 9 inside it. Let's just say this is what the list is, and I've saved, you can say, 9 elements inside this, that is starting from 1 and up till 9. Now let's just say I have to print this element one by one. Let's just say first I have to print this element, then this, then this, then this, and in the similar way I'll go till 9. So what would be my approach? The first approach is I'll do it without loop. Let me just tell you, without loops. So without loop, if I have to do without loop, I have to do something like this, that is print number, and then I have to say 0, and then I have to go in the similar way, print number 1, and I have to go, this will go till, you can say, your print number, and over here 8, like this. Since our last element is of, you can say, the length is of 9, so the last index would be of 8. So this is how we are going to do it without loop, and this is very, you can say, difficult and very tedious to do this, because we have to write the same line of code again and again. So what is the demerit of this, you can say, or demerit or disadvantage of this is, you can say, we are repeating the same line of code again and again, that is print, print, print. So we have done this 9 times, guys. We have written the same piece of code 9 times. So you can say code is not redundant. That means the repeated, you can say, the lines of code that we have written is same again and again. That means the code is not redundant. The second thing is the code readability is also reduced, guys. You can see the as soon as, let's just say, if there are 100 elements, so I have to write this 100 times. So you can say the code readability, and you can say the code is not even redundant, as well as the code is, you can say, we can say that code is not that much readable as well. If I'll say, or if I'll give it to any other programmer, he'll get confused what I'm doing in this, and he'll ask me, or he will question me, like, why I've written this, because this is not a proper approach. If I'll give it to any programmer or coder, he'll say that you are noob or you are dumb, you are not aware of any kind of a programming approaches. So please don't do these kinds of things, or he'll just simply fire me. If I'll, he's my boss, if I'm giving these kinds of program to him, he'll just simply fire me the next day. That's what exactly he's going to do. Now the second way is to do is using loops, guys. Loops may, you can say, makes our task easier. That is the lines of code that we have to do multiple times. That is, you can say, 100 times, 200 times. Let's just say over here it was just 9 times, guys. But let's just say we have to do these, or we have to write the same piece of code 200 times, 300 times, something like this. So it's a huge task, and assume doing it without loops, guys. So you have to write the same piece of code 200 or 300 times, then you are going to do it. But using loops, that is possible in just, you can say, 3 to 4 lines of code. Let me just tell you. So the first loop that we are going to study is for. This is called as for loop. So let's just talk about for loop. So to use the for loop, what we write is the for keyword, and then we pass a variable, and then we say in, and like this we go with a range. And what we say, we start the starting value, let that is 0, and then we pass the end value, that is we have to go till 8. So we pass it like this, and we pass this semicolon, and over here we say something like this, that is print, and we can simply say number, and we can write it I over here, and that's it. So you can see what we have written, this above code that was taking 9 lines of code, the same piece of code is just done in 2 lines. So you can see how, what is the benefit of using the loop is, the number of lines of code that you are going to write would be less, and the, you can say, the output that you would be expecting would be same as what you must be writing in, you can say, 200, 300, or 400 lines of code, guys. So is loops clear? What exactly is the loop? Is loop part clear, guys? Is loop part clear, guys? can going to tell you, but can anybody confirm whether the what exactly is the loops is and why we use loops? Is this part clear, guys? Guys, it's 8:26 and the boot camp starts at 8:15, guys. We are already, you can say it's been 10 minutes. I've already waited for 5 minutes so that everybody can join. If you are late, then it's your, you can say, issue, guys. I'm not going to wait for, you can say, guys. I've already waited for 5 minutes. I've started at 8:20, guys, not at 8:15 exact, guys. Okay. Okay, that's really great. That's really great. Let me just give you one more time. Let's just talk about loops. So, what exactly is the loops is, guys? Loops helps you to do the task or perform the task that you have to do. You can say multiple times. Let's just say this is a piece of code. That is, let's just say you manually is have to write this code 10 times if I have to do it without loop. But if I have to do this, you can say using loops, that is just possible in just, you can say, 2 or 3 lines of code. So loops makes our task easier. That is, if you have to write the same code or if you have to perform the same task again and again with the help of loop, it is more easier as compared to doing it without loops, guys. That what exactly is the loop is. So the first loop that we are going to see is for loop, guys. That is called as for loop. This is just an example. We have not started with for loop. We have just discussed what exactly is the loop is and why do we use the loop. The first thing that we have talked about is the loop is loops helps us to make our task easier, and it helps us to write the piece of code again and again that would be otherwise very difficult or tedious to do that. That's what exactly is the loops is this part clear, guys? I've repeated this again. Is this part clear? Okay. 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 Okay, that's really great, guys. Okay. Okay. Let me just confirm with my backend team, guys. Just wait on. Some are saying that there is a wrong link. Let me just mention. Guys, I've mentioned this issue with my backend team. Don't worry about that. They are going to handle this. If any wrong link or any mistake has been done by the backend team, they are going to handle it. Don't worry about that. I've just, you can say, send the message to the backend team. They are going to handle it. Don't worry, guys. I'll wait for 5 more minutes, guys, since there was some link issue. So I'll wait for 5 more minutes so that everybody can join, guys. Okay. Guys, I'm still live. There is some issue with the backend team. They have sent it, I think, the wrong link. So that's why I'm waiting for 5 more minutes so that everybody can join. I'll start the session. Don't worry, guys. I'll wait for 5 more minutes, guys. I'm still live. I've not ended the session. Don't worry, guys. It's just the matter of 5 minutes. Just wait for 5 minutes so that everybody can join. They are requesting me to wait for 5 more minutes. That's why I'm just waiting. Don't worry about it. Okay. That's really great, guys. Till then, if you have doubts, guys, don't worry. Jadav, Ayush, or Ayush Jadav, whatever your name is, I've already informed about the projects many times, but let me just inform you once again. After this boot camp, that is once the 7 days are over, you are going to receive a call from my backend team. They are going to tell you what exactly you have to do regarding the project. Don't worry about it. They are going to inform you, they are going to tell you everything. Don't worry about it. Guys, you would be informed about the project. It would be related to what we have studied into the class. It would be nothing new. It would be just a you can say what we have discussed and a little bit of what we have covered. That's it, nothing new. And everything would be same. There would be no issues, and you would be given some time as well to complete this project. So don't worry about projects, guys. Guys, I was working at the backend part. I was discussing what is going on with the backend team, guys. So that's why my voice was mute. I was discussing with your whatever you were telling, guys. So don't worry about that. Now we'll start this session, guys. I'll not wait more since it's 8:38. So I'll start again, guys. So we have discussed about what exactly was the loops is. I'll repeat this once again. So loops are used to do the task that you have to do repeatedly, and it helps you to make your code clean and redundant, guys. That's what exactly it is. Now the second thing, or you can say the first loop that we are going to study, is known as for loop. So let me just tell you what exactly we are going to talk inside the for loop. So let me just comment all these code that we have written into the yesterday's class. So I'll quickly comment it down, and I'll just go with this part. So what I'll do is I'll go with for loop like this. So you have to use the for keyword, and let's just say we have to print, you can say 1 to 10. Let's just say I have to print 1, and I'll go till 10. So what I can say for I in range, and I can simply pass the starting value. You can see it's giving me, you can say stop, and you can say it's giving me what exactly I have to pass over here. VS Code is suggesting me. So let's just pass the starting value. Starting value would be 1, and you can say the ending value would be plus 1, guys. Let's just say if I have to stop at 10, so I have to pass 11 over here, guys. And after this, I have to just say print, guys. Don't, that's it, print. Hi, guys. That's it. I have to say nothing else. Let's just run this code. Okay, I got one syntax error. That's what, because of this, guys. Okay, now this won't be error. Okay, why it is coming like this? Let's just start. Okay, okay. Let's just, this should be like this only. I'm getting this error. Okay, let's just pass it like this, and let's just check. Okay, now this is not giving any error. Yeah, so you can see we have got this. That is, you can say 0, 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 8, and 9, guys. So this is how exactly we are going to print it, guys. So if I'm going to start with 1, okay, yeah, now this is the correct syntax. Yeah, so this is how exactly we are going to print it from 1. So if you have to start from 1, so you have to pass it like this, and it won't be separated by semicolon, guys. I was wrong. We have to pass comma in between, guys. So semicolon won't be there, it would be comma, guys. So that's what I think I was making a mistake. That's why I was getting an error over here. So we have to use comma in between, guys. Now this is how exactly we are going to print 1 to 10, guys. Now let's just say if I have to give a step of 1, guys, that's it. That is, I have to print 1, then I have to print 3, then I have to skip 4, and I have to print 5. Like this I have to go. So we can pass the step over here, guys. That is starting value, ending value plus 1, and then the step, guys. Let's just run this piece of code, guys. So you can see what exactly the output we are getting, guys. This, okay, sorry, step would be 2, 1 would be default. Okay, now this would be fine. Yeah, so you can see this is how exactly the step we are taking, guys, and this is how exactly it is going to run. And this is how exactly, that is 1, 3, 5, 7, and 8. This is how exactly it is going to print, guys. Let's just run this piece of code again. Yeah, so you can see 1, 3, 5, and we have got 7 and 9, guys. So this is how exactly Why it is not printing in one, guys? Let me just tell you. So if we'll not pass anything, guys, that let's just say I'm not passing the step, so by default the step would be considered as one. If we are not passing the step, let me just come again with it, why it was not coming with one. So if we are not going to pass anything, the step would be considered as one by default. If we have to pass the step greater than one, let's just say, or minus, or in, you can say, in any other value apart from one, then we have to specify it. If I'll specify it one, that is by default value. That's why it was not coming. If we have to specify the step, we are going to do like this. So is the parameter part and every other thing clear? Is this part clear, guys? Okay, let me just tell why exactly I'm using I as well. So what is happening over here, let me just tell you guys. So whenever I'm saying that like this, let's just say for I in range, that is 1 comma, you can say 11, and I'm saying print, that is I. So what is happening like this? So first one is getting stored inside this I, and whatever I've written inside it, that is this, let's just say I've written 10 lines of code. So with respect to one, all the operations would be, or you can say the task would be covered what I've written over here. Now after performing this, it your, you can say, interpreter will come again over here. It will since we have not passed any steps, so it will compare, or it will take the step as one. So it will again increment it by 2, and it will pass the value 2 to the I, and with respect to the 2, whatever you have written, it will perform the task, and then it will come again. After that, it will increment it by 1 again, since we have not passed the step. So by default the step is 1. I've repeated this and I've informed this. So it will take it 3, and then with respect to 3 as I, it will take all the task, and then it will come again, and then it will go with 4, similarly 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and let's just say when it's 10, guys. So once it will perform all the tasks with respect to 10, and it will increment it by 1. So what we have passed the stopped value over here, that is 11. So at 11, when I value is equal to 11, we have to stop over here. That's why we are passing. If we have to stop at 10, then we are going to pass at, you can say, 10 over here, not 11. But since we have to do the task for 10 as well, that's why we are passing plus 1, guys. So is this part clear, guys? How the incrementing is happening and how the task is going on? Okay, let me just tell you how this increment is happening, guys. So this is a range function, guys. This range function will do what thing, guys? Let me just tell you. It will create this part, that is, you can say, for I in, it will, if I'm not giving anywhere, let's just say range is over there, so it will create something like this, that is 1 2 3 4 5 6 up till now, like this. It will range function. This is happening at the back end, guys. This is how exactly it is going to be executed. But the proper syntax would be this, guys. Let me just tell you. It is creating some sort of, you can say, list, or the, you can say, a queue, or you can say a line of a number, guys. And it is passing all those values that you have said one by one to the I, guys. First one would be taken care, then two would be passed, then three would be passed, and then four would be passed, and then five would be passed. So this is how exactly it is going to do for this part, guys. Now what is happening when we are saying this, guys, that is for I in range, that is your 1, 11, and 2, guys. Now your loop is executing something like this. For I in range, it is going to start with 1, guys, but the second value that is going to be go over here is 3, guys, not 2. It is going to increment 1. After performing the task 1, 1 would be added, 1 plus 2, and this would be 3, and 3 would be added to the queue. And then The next value that would be going over here would be 3, guys. Then after performing the 3, it is going to take 3 plus 2, that is 5, guys. After 5, it is going to take 7, and after 7, it is going to take 9. So that's how it is going on, and that's how it is going to increment. This is the starting part, this would be the starting value, this would be the ending value. If you are not passing this part, your loop would be executing by default as 1. This would be considered as 1 if you are not passing it, but if you are passing it, this would be considered as increment, guys. So it's similar, guys. If you are you can say using the loop, or if you are working with, if you have worked with other loops, you can say in other programming languages, what we used to do is we used to write something like this, that is I equal to 1 and then semicolon, and then we used to pass this, that is I is less than equal to n or whatever value is, and then we used to pass it like this, that is I plus plus, or we can say like this, I is equals to I plus 1, something like this, guys. We used to write it something like that. So this is the starting value, this is the ending where you have to do the end, and this is how exactly we used to increment. So start, end, and increment. So I hope that start and an increment is clear, guys. Okay, 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 okay. Yeah, Kumari, exactly what you have said. This is going on. This is what exactly it is going on at the backend, guys. Yeah, whatever your name was, let me just go. Yeah, Khushi, if you want to start from 0, you have to write 0 comma 1. 0, let me just write it, that is your 0 comma 1, or whatever value you have to end, guys. That's it. This is how exactly we have to proceed. Let me just plug my power button. Okay. Now let's just do certain things, guys. Let's just remove this. Let's just print only, you can say 12, guys. So what exactly? I've said 12, guys. So I've not passed anything. That is, I've just said this. Let's just scroll it down and let me just tell you what exactly I've done. Yeah. So let's just remove all these parts and it is clear, so that I've written something that is for I in range, that is your 12 or 13, whatever it is there, and I've said that print I, guys. I've not informed anything that is starting, ending, or whatever it is. I've just passed the 12 here, guys. What would be the output of this, guys? Can anybody expect what would be the output of this code, guys? Okay, Renuka is saying 0 to 12. Okay, 0 to 12. Okay. Is there any other possibility? Okay, Kumari is saying from 0 to 11. Okay, 0 to 11. Is there, okay, 0 to 11? Some are saying 0 to 12. That's, it's done. Okay, only 12. Let's just say only 12. Only 12. Okay. Akshay, if you want to comment all the code in just one line, just press control and forward slash. That's it. Just press control and forward slash. Renuka is saying 1 to 12. Okay. Let's just say 1 to 12. Okay. Any other possibility that you might be thinking? What if increment 0.5? Okay. You can write it over here in the place of increment. You can specify that I have to do increment by 0.5. There is no, you can say, apart from 1, if you want to do zero point 0.5, zero point 0.2, or whatever you want, you can just specify it over there. Yes, Akshay, if we are not giving the increment value, it is going to take it by 1. Okay, now let's just run this code and let's just see, guys. So let's just check what exactly we have got as our output. So you can see it has started from 0 and it has gone up till 11, guys. So now let me just explain you how exactly this is working, guys. So there are two things, guys. So you have to pass at least one, you can say, parameter in this function, guys. That is range function, guys. Range a function accepts at least one parameter, guys. That is end value, guys. You have to pass the end value. If you're not passing the start value and your increment, guys, that is increment, and your end value, these are the three parameters that it takes. If you are not passing the start and increment, it will take it as increment as 1, increment equal to as 1, increment equal to 1, and start as what, equal to 0. So if you are not passing these two things, guys, it is going to take it as by default by 0 and increment as 1. So what I've done over here, I've just written that is your 12, guys. So it did it something like this, that is 0, and it did something like this. So this is what happened at the backend, guys. 0 was start value was taken by default, that is 0, and end value that we have passed, that is 12, and increment we already know, guys. If we are not going to pass the increment value, it is going to take it by default as 1. So I hope that this part is also clear, guys. If we are not going to pass the start value by default, what would be the start value? This concept is also clear, guys. Is this part clear, guys? Guys, please answer this question. If we are not going to pass the start value, what would be the start value, guys? Please answer this. If we are not going to pass the start value, what would be the start value, guys? We have discussed this just now, guys. If we are not going to pass the start value, what would be the start value, guys? Please put into the comment section. What would be the start value, guys? Okay, 0, 0, 0. That's really great, guys. Okay, so you have got it. Okay, what I've said, you have got it. Okay. That's really great, guys. So now this is what exactly the for loop is, guys. This is nothing new inside the for loop, and this is how exactly the for loop works. So the second loop we are going to see is your while loop. Let me just write it properly. Yeah. So while loop. So while loop is also, you can say, similar to the for loop, guys. It is also used to print a line of code. You can say whatever times you want. Let's just say if I want to print 10 times, I can do the same thing with while loop. If I want to do it 20 times, I can do it with the while loop and for loop. So there is no difference. Whatever you can do with the for loops, the same thing you can do with the while loop, but there are certain difference in the syntax and, you can say, decision based upon the task. Based upon the task, we decide which loop suits best. That is your while loop or for loop. Whatever you can do with the for loop, that is also possible. You can say many of the times you can do the same thing with the while loop, but it, you can say, depends upon the task. Let's just say sometimes the task, or you can say the task that we have to do, is much more easier as compared to the, you can say, using it for while loop. We can do it in a much easier way with the for loop, and vice versa, guys. That is, if the task is much more compatible with the while loop, we'll use while loop. That's what exactly is the difference is, guys. So now let me just write down the syntax for while loop, and let's just do the same thing. That is, I have to print, you can say, the 10 times this. So let's just comment this. Let's just say while, and let's just say I should be what, less than equal to 10. And let's just say, okay, sorry, let's just say print I, and let's just define I equal to 0 or not 1. Let's just say 1, guys. And let's just say I is equal to what, I plus 1, like this. So this is how exactly we are going to do with the for loop. Let's just run this piece of code. Okay, and let's just press. Okay, let's just delete this. We have got certain error into our command line. Let's just have a one more terminal. Let's let it open. Okay, now let's just run this code. So it is executing. So yeah, so you can see we have got 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and then 10. So what we have done with the for loop, the same thing we have done with the while loop, guys. So you can see this is the starting value, this is the condition where the while loop has to end, and this is what exactly the increment is, guys. So starting value, condition where it has to stop, condition where it has to stop, that is I should be, you can say, less than or you can say equal to 10. So once the I value passed above 10, that is I is equal to 11, it is going to stop. And increment, I'm telling the increment I by 1. So that's what exactly it is, guys. So you can do the same thing with whatever you are doing with the for loop. You can do the same task with the while loop, but it varies in, you can say, some manner. That is, the first manner is in syntax format, guys. You can see in for loop we pass, that is your, you can say, starting value, condition where it has to stop, and increment in just one line, guys. But over here we are passing in three separate lines, guys. You can see first, second, and this, in three separate lines we are passing this. The second difference is, guys, based upon the task, sometime it is, you can say, using the for loop is much more easier, and sometimes you can say using the for loop is, you can say, much easier. Now in which case using the for loop is easier, and in which case using the while loop is easier, guys? So the first, you can say, this is very, you can say, major question that is being asked, guys, based upon the while loop or for loop, which loop is compatible depending upon the task. Sometimes it is given into the question or into the interview rounds, they ask that this is the task, let's just say xyz is the task, which loop would be compatible, that is while loop or for loop. So they ask these kinds of questions, guys. Let me just write it properly. Let's just draw proper difference part. Let's just scroll it down first. Yeah, let's just draw this line. Let's just write while over here and for over here. So when you know, that is, you can say, the first difference, that is in syntax, we have already discussed about this. The second difference is in, when you know that your loop is going to run 100 times, 200 times, or whatever your, you can say, the count of the loop that is going to be there, let's just say 100, 200,000, 10,000, whatever it is, guys. But you know how many times your loop is going to be run, then this loop is more compatible and more appropriate, guys. But now in this case, that is in the case of while loop, you are not aware of that how many, you can say, how many times your loop is going to run. That is your 10 times, 20 times, 30 times, 40 times, or 50 times. But let's just say, depending upon whatever the value of I is, or whatever the value that we are getting from the user, you have to run, in some cases you are going to run the loops 20 times, but in other case you have to run it 40 times, guys. So then this loop is more better as compared to using the for loop, guys. If you know that in every case or in every situation you are going to run the loop 100 times, then this is the best loop, guys. This is not best in this case, guys. But depending upon the condition of the situation, in first case, for the same output or for the same task, whatever you are doing, you are going to run the loop 20 times. But since the I value get changed, since the starting value changed, your loop number of count of loop is increasing or decreasing or whatever it is, but it is going to change. Then this loop is much more suitable, guys. So I hope that for loop and while loop difference, and why do we use for loop and why do we use while loop, that is also clear. Yeah, it doesn't depends upon the condition, guys. In for loop also we can have a condition, guys. But you can say in while loop, when we don't know, let's just say, let me just tell you guys. Okay, let me just write it something like this. That is your true. I've just said, okay, let's just have this as well. I've just said something like this, guys. I've not written anything over here. Can anybody guess what would be the output for this, guys? What would be the output for this code, guys? What would be the output of this code, guys? I've written this piece of code. What would be the output of this? Okay, let's just run this piece of code and see. So you can see it is keep on going, keep on going. You can see how exactly how many number of times it is running, guys. I've not informed the loop that where it has to stop. I've not informed, guys. You can see it's still running, guys. It's still keep on going. It's still keep on going. You can say 500 sorry 5,000, 6,000, 7,000. So over here I would not, you can say I was not aware of this. So that's why it is keep on going. It is keep on going, and it is running, guys. So I by default I've just pressed the control C and I've said to the interpreter, kindly please stop. If I would have not stopped it, my system would have crashed, guys. If I would have not stopped it manually, my system would have crashed. So that's why I've just stopped it. So in this case, I was not aware of how many times I have to run this. But there would be certain situations or there would be certain part where I have to stop. Let's just have said that, okay, if you're over here, let's just say instead of this, I'm saying this over here. Let's just say if I'm saying if I is, you can say, equal to your, let's just say 12, then do what? Then break this. I'm saying that then break this. I've braked it over here. So I've just changed a piece of line of code inside this, guys. I've added a piece of code. So you can see I've added a break statement. That means I've said to the, you can say, Python interpreter, what do kindly please run this code. I'm not aware of how many times this you can say this line of code is going to, you can say, end, or how many times you are going to run this loop, but just stop the loop when your I value is equal to 12. I've just said this. I don't know how many times you, or you can say how many number of times you will run the loop so to get the value of I equal to 12. But I know that you have to stop the loop when I equal to 12. That's what you can do it in this manner as well. You can pass this like this. You can pass it like this over here, and instead of doing this, you can just do it like this as well. This will also give you the same output. There won't be any difference inside this. Okay, let's just run this. Okay, let's just check why we are getting an error over here. Let's just run this piece of code manually. Do.py. Okay, I think there is certain error inside this. That's why I'm not getting it. Let's just make it as this. I think this would fine. Yeah. Yeah, you can see now we are getting it. Now we are getting an output, guys. Now this is getting an output. Okay, I got to know why this is not going to enter. Yeah. So you can see over here what we have said is that, guys, once we have said I equal to 12, what is the value of I over here? What is the value of I over here? That is 1. In this case, it has compared I equal to 12. It has compared. So what exactly the output that we have got over here? I is not equal to 12. That's why this has not entered. We have made one mistake, guys, over here. So we have to pass it like this. If we have to do the same thing what I was doing over here, we have to do it like this. That's why we were not getting this output. Now I got it. Is this part clear, guys? Why we were not getting it and what exactly we were doing the mistake, guys? Yeah. Okay. Toka and whatever your name is. Okay. Yeah, that's why we were getting this, guys. Yeah. That's why we were getting it. I was not adding less than sign. That's why we were getting it. Okay. 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 Now let's just do one task, guys. Let's just go and do some pattern questions, guys. Sometime to get deep into the loops, guys, it is suggested to add a pattern questions. So now let's just say you have to print something like this. That is this, and that is your this, and this. Let's just say you have to print star like this. You have to print a star in this manner. You have to write a code in Python to print this pattern, guys. Pattern questions are the best to understand the loops, guys. Now let's just say you have to print this pattern. How exactly you are going to print it? Let's just see this part, guys. Now let's just comment this piece of code, and now let's just write it like this. That is for I in range, that is your 1, to how many times we are going to run. So this requires nested for loop, guys. That is nested for loop. Let me just tell you what exactly is the nested for loop is. When we are using one for loop inside the another for loop, that is called as nested for loop, guys. So let's just see how exactly we are going to do this question. So once this is the outer loop, guys, outer loop is going to tackle what, how many lines we have to cover. Let's just say I have to go 1 line, 2 line, 3 line, 4 line, and 5 line. Let's just say I have to run 5 lines. I have to print this 5 times, guys. That is 5 line, guys. I have to go with 5 lines. So that's why the outer loop will cover how many lines we have to go. I have to go 5 times. So I have to stop at what? 6. I'm saying because 5, why? I have to, it will go till 5. I have to run till 5. And I have to stop at what? I have to stop when the I value is 6. And increment would be 1, so I'll not pass it anything. Then the second is J in range. I'm saying second loop, and what is start this value, that is start this value by 1. That is, I'm okay, why I'm getting this. Yeah, start this by 1, but stop at what, I plus 1. Why I'm saying I plus 1, that is, let me just dry run and tell you. Okay, so the second would be for this second loop, what we are taking would be star, that is 1 for this. Then next time we want 3, and like this 4, 5, 6, and like this we want it like this. That's why the second loop would be star in, you can say, 1 line. One for this, second time we want 2, 3, 4, and then 5. So in 1 line we have 4, we have to print 2 stars. So how many stars we have to print in a particular line, the second loop is handling that part. So when the I value is your 1, guys, so J value would start from, you can say, your 1, but it will stop at what, I plus 1. So now I plus 1, it has to stop at what, 2. So next time what, it will increment it by 2, and it will stop at 2 itself. So you can say it just executed 1 time. So you can see in 1 line, that is line number 1, how many stars are there, that is just 1. So it is going to tackle, or it is going to run 1 time. Now we came to the second line, that is this part. Now I value is second. Now the J value starts from 1, but it has to stop at 3. So it will go for 1 and 2. And once the j value is 3, it is going to stop. So you can see at line number 2, how many stars are there? 2. So 1 and 2. Now we came to the line number 3. So it will go for 1, 2, and 3, and it is going to stop at 4. And in the similar way for 4 and 5, guys. That's how exactly it is going to run. Is this part clear, guys? Is this part clear? Why we are taking two loops and what j is doing, what I is doing? Is this part clear? Okay, let's just move ahead and let's just say this, that is print star. Let's just execute this. Let's just execute this. Somebody has written this piece of code over here, and he's saying that this code is right. Let's just see whether we are getting the same pattern what we expected. So you can see the output of this is not same, guys. The output of this is not same. It is just printing the stars like this, guys. This is not what we expected. So we have to print the star in one line, guys. So to print the star in one line, what happens if you are just saying print star? That is like this. Your Python interpreter is just going to print the star, and then it is going to change the line and then print it again. But we have to print the stars in one line, that is in one line. So to do that, we have to add this part, that is end equal to double in, you can say, commas like this. So this will make sure that your whatever you are passing would be concatenated and would be printed at the end. So this is what exactly is going to take care of. Now after doing this part, we can just simply say do what, just say print, and just do this. Just don't do anything, just print a line of, you can say, part, and just end this. Now let's just check with what exactly the output. Yeah, you can see this is what exactly the output that we were expecting, and this is how exactly it is going to cover, guys. So you can see the pattern that we were expecting, we have got into our output, guys. Can you see the pattern what we were expecting or what we have covered? We have got it. Is this part clear? We are going to do one more, you can say, pattern questions, and then we are going to stop, since we have wasted few of our time into the, you can say, attendance link, and the students have not joined. So today's session would be conducted till 9:25. I'm going to continue till 9:25, and the boot camp is going to end at 9:25. Okay, let me just show the code again for you guys. Okay, this is what exactly the code is for the pattern question, guys. Now let me just show it for you. Please note it down, guys, or please take the screenshot of this part. Please take the screenshot or please note it down somewhere. Let me just shift back towards my OneNote now, guys. Now I'm giving you one homework. First homework, you have two homeworks, guys. The first thing is you have to do the same thing that what we have done over here using the while loop. This is also possible to do using while loop. You have to do the same thing using the while loop. The second question that we have, or you can say the second homework, is that you have to print this part, that is 5 stars first, and then you can say your 4 stars, and then 3 stars, and then 2 stars, and then 1 star. So you have to do the reverse of what we have done. So first line would have 5 stars, second line would have, you can say, your 4 stars, the third line would have your 3 stars, and then two, and then one. So this is what exactly the homework is, guys. Is homework clear to you, guys? Is homework part clear? Yeah, reverse. Uday, we have to do the reverse. Okay, okay. We have to do the reverse of what exactly the pattern that we have studied. Okay, let me just tell you why exactly I have kept print at the end. Let me just remove it and show it to you. So you can see this, all the stars are just printed in one line, guys. if I'm removing this end, that means if I'm removing this end, what it is doing, it is just printing the stars vertically, that is one below the other, guys, that is in the standing part like this. It is going to print it like this vertically. And if I'm going to end equal to like this, if I'm going to end at this, it is going to print everything horizontally. Now let me just tell you why I've added this. So let's just try run this piece of code I and j. Now let's just say when the j value is 1, so we have covered that the this is how exactly, when it is 2 then it would be 1 2, when it is 3 it would be 1 2 and 3, and when it is 4 it would be 1 2 3 and then 4, and when it is 5 it would be 1 2 3 and 5, whatever it is. So this is how exactly the I and j value is going to shuffle, guys. So now first time what it is going to do is, when I'm saying this command, that is print, you can say your star and end part like this, like this. So what is happening over here is, it is going to print one star, that is in one go, because j is being executed only one time. So it is going to print. My interpreter is still over here, guys. It has not changed the next line because I've added this. It's still over here. What, once I'm adding this print part, what this interpreter is coming, it is just shifting to the next line, that is over here. So if I'm not going to add this part, it is going to sprint one star and then it is coming over here. If it is coming after this, for this part it is going to print like this, print like this. Once I've added this end, it is printing it one go, that is horizontally, and after that it is over here. But after printing one star, I have to change the line as well. So I'm saying, once, you can say, one row is over, then change the line. This is for changing the line, guys. Is this part clear why I've added the print part? Guys, boot camp is would be over at 9:25. It's 9:19, guys. I haven't already today. Okay. That's really clear. That's really nice, guys. That's really very nice to hear that. So now what we are going to do is, we are going to cover one short topic today, that is related to the string, guys. That is related to the string. So I would request you to everybody to please recall what is string is, guys. So slicing, guys. Slicing is, you can say, a very easy concept, not that much difficult, guys. So let me just tell you. First, what I'm doing, I'm saying one SCN and I'm declaring one sentence, that is your hello world. Let's just say I'm doing it like this, guys. So you can say sentence is, or you can say the strings are nothing, guys. They are like an array, list, or tuples, guys. You can access these alphabets of, you can say, string with indexes also, guys. Let me just tell you, if I'm saying print sen, that is 0, so I'll get an access of h over here, guys. Let me just show it to you. Okay, let's just comment out these lines of code. So you can see it has printed h over here, guys. It has printed h. Can you see h over here, guys? It has printed h. If I'm saying 1, it is just printing, it would give me an access of e. If I'm saying 2, I'll get an access of L, guys. So you can see this, using indexes, you can get an access of the alphabets of, you can say, of you can say strings as well, guys. So what we can do is, we can do the slicing of string, guys. That means slicing. What do I mean by slicing? Whenever we say slice a mango, give me a slice of mango. So what you are saying, that give me a piece of mango. Let's just assume that this is one mango. My drawing is not that much good, so please avoid that. Let's just say I've sliced a mango over here and I'm giving it to my, you can say, cousin. Let's just say he asked me to slice this mango and give me one piece of mango. So what I'm saying, I've just sliced, I've just cut a part of mango and I'm giving it. So now let's assume that there is one sentence, that is hello world, and I'm saying slice this sentence. So what I'm saying, that I'm just saying, give me a part of this. Just cut this sentence and give me a part of this. So let's just say we can store it like this. We can say, okay, from where you have to slice, that is from where you have to start. Let's just say, like in range, guys, you remember range, we were passing starting value, ending value, and step, guys. This is how exactly in this as well, guys. We have to pass the starting value from where we have to start, from which index you have to start. Let's just say we have to start from your second index, that is from L. So I'll say 2. I have to stop where? Let's just say I have to stop at this, that is LLO. I want LLO, that is 2, 3, and then 4. I have to stop at what? 1 plus, guys. 1 plus, that is 5. And if I'm not passing this step, it would be taken as by default as 1, guys. Let me just show it to you. Okay, I have not printed this. Let's just print send, and we are going to get it. You can see, can you see LLO? We have gotten access to the LLO, guys. So this was the original, you can say, uh, part was, and this is how exactly this was the original, you can say, string, and we have sliced some part out of the string. And let's just say if I'm passing the step, let's just say I've incremented it to 7, and I'm passing the step as 2. So you can see what exactly would be the output is LOW. So first L, then 2, that is 2 plus 2, that is 4. So it has gone to the fourth index. Then it has skipped the escape. Whenever we are adding any space, guys, space is also carrying an index, guys. So this is also carrying an index, and it is going over here. And what we have said stop at 7. So R is out of our index, what we have specified for, you can say, end value. That's why it just ended over here. So low is being printed. Is slicing part also clear, guys? Is slicing clear? What I've informed regarding slicing, is this part clear, guys? Is slicing clear? Okay, okay. If you have any doubts, guys, please put your doubts. I've got one message from my backend team, so I'll just send you the attendance link. Let me just copy the attendance link. They have shared the attendance link, and I'm going to paste it. Just wait for 1 minute. Let me just copy it from my phone. Till then, you can just keep on, you can say, asking any doubts. If you have, I'm going to see that. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, let me just share the attendance link. So I've copied the attendance link. Let me just share it for you guys. Guys, I'm sharing the attendance link into the chat box. Once you have marked the attendance, you can leave. Okay, so someone is asking for slicing again. Let me just repeat the slicing for you. So whenever we are slicing the any string, we just cut it down a part of that. So to cut it down a part of that, what we do is we pass it like this, that is using indexes. We just cut, or you can say we just slice a piece of sentence, guys, or string, whatever it is. So whenever we are slicing a string, it accepts two value. Sorry, by default, if you are not passing any value, let's just say I'm not giving any value over here, and if I'm running this, as it was, you can say, in range, it was taking that as 0 as this and increment as by 1. So this is going to take it, but it accepts three, you can say, parameter, that is starting value, whatever index you have to pass for starting, and end, wherever at whatever respective index you have to stop, just pass plus one of that. That means Python always takes plus one of that. That is, if I want to stop at index number 6, I'm going to pass plus one for that, and then over here we can pass the increment. So this is what exactly is the slicing is, guys. Okay, is attendance link not working? Let me just check, guys. Guys, I have updated this part. Now you can access the attendance link, guys. Guys, now check it. Attendance link would be working fine now, guys. You can check it now, guys. Guys, just check it once again. I've just changed it. Just check it once again, guys. It's not, it would be working now, guys. Okay, okay. I've pasted the attendance link again, guys. Please follow this link. It is working now. Guys, attendance link is working now. You can check once again. This use the same link. They were the same link. There is no change. I've shared the attendance link again. Attendance link is working now. Okay, link is working now. You can see they are saying that link is working now. Okay, okay. Neha, I have shared the proper attendance link. It's the same link. They have just changed the, you can say, acceptance part. So that's why you were getting it. I've altered that. And now you can mark your attendance with the same link. It is working. Guys, after marking your attendance, you can leave. Yeah, you can refresh the same page as well. Just refresh it. If you're not getting it, you can refresh it. I'll wait for 5 more minutes till 9:40. I'll wait. If you have any doubts, you can ask into this session. The boot camp is ended for today. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Sentence together. Guys, if you have missed the attendance for yesterday's session or day before yesterday or any other sessions, I'm sorry, I can't share the attendance link again. Yeah, we would be talking about file handling and oops concept tomorrow. Tomorrow is, oh sorry, day after tomorrow. One more thing, guys. Tomorrow is an holiday. There would be no session tomorrow. Let me repeat this, there would be no session tomorrow since it's a national holiday. So there would be no session tomorrow. There would be no session tomorrow, guys. The tomorrow session would be conducted day after tomorrow. You are going to get about projects. A call would be made from my backend team, guys. Okay, I'm going to repeat I and J part. Don't worry, Kumari. I'm going to repeat it for you. I'll repeat it at the last and then I'll end the session. So, is there any other doubts? Any other short doubts that can be answered quickly? This is some, you can say, it will take some time. So, I'm going to repeat it and then I'm going to end the session. Java plus DSA is, you can say, you cannot add, let you can say Akshay K, whatever you are asking. You cannot add the floating point values into, you can say, into the range part. But let me just tell you how exactly you can tackle it. Let's just say there is one list and you have added, let's just say 1.2 like this. That is 1.2, 1.3, 1.4, and your, let's just say, your 1.5 like this. So if you want to print it, you can just say for I in list and you can say okay, and let's just say print and then I, and this is going to just print the floating values as well. Can you see we have got the floating point values as an output? But if you are going to say it like this, that is your range, and 1 comma, you can say 12 comma 1.5 like this, it is going to give you an error. Can you see we have got an error over here? So if you want to add a floating point values, or if you have to work with floating point values, just do what I've said. Just create a list and work with that. It takes 12 days, minimum 12 days, guys, to work with you can say with your assignments and projects, and then your certificates, guys. And your certificates are being in association with your big companies, guys, that is Amazon, Google, like that. So it you can say backend teams works really hard, guys. It takes some time to get your certificate verified and everything, guys. So you can just see, guys, if you are getting a certificate from Amazon, so it will take some time, guys. Be patient, guys. Have some patience. You'll get a certificate. Don't worry about that. Okay, Java plus DSA is hard or not? Bhavesh, if you are going to see whether it is hard or not, everything is hard to achieve, guys. You will not get anything without hard work. If I've reached at this point and if I'm teaching to you guys, so at the back end, or you can say once I was at your age, I would have worked definitely hard. Then I've worked, then I've reached up till here, guys. So hard work would be required for everything. The two things, guys, to get success, that is hard work and smart work, guys. Work hard as well and work smartly, guys. Don't work if you are just doing the hard work, and if you're not working smartly, you're not going to get a success, or you can say if you're not going to get into any company, guys. So work hard as well as work smart, guys. So both things are required. Java or Python, should which should I learn first? Okay, so based upon your requirement, guys, if your main outcome is to learn DSA, then go with Java. But if your main outcome outcome is to, you can say, to learn you can say AI, data science, ML, then you should go with Python. It depends upon what kind of, you can say, your main outcome is. If your outcome is to learn DSA, then go with Java. If your outcome is to learn AI, ML, Python, IoT, then go with, you can say, your Python, guys. Is this boot camp is for learning, guys? Python is a very vast language. We have covered a lot of concepts, guys, in 7 days. If you are going to see that, if you are going to get any, you can say, into any part, I hope that up till now everybody who has attended my boot camp, they must be clear about basics till little bit of advanced, guys. We have not covered that much advanced. In tomorrow's session we are going to cover file handling and your oops concept, then you can also say that I've covered the advanced concepts as well. So till basics, till, you can say, little bit of, you can say, less than advanced, you can say that you have covered the concept, guys. So Python is much more, you can say, deep and much more vast language. You cannot learn everything. Python has Django, Python has TensorFlow, Python has Pandas, Python has NumPy. If you want to learn everything related to the Python, there is one training session that is being, you can say, there is training session that is going on by the DevTown itself, that is Data Science Industrial Training Program. This is official website of DevTown. You have to go to this website, that is devtown.in. Just go to this courses, go to industrial training part and click on this data science training. The next batch is just going to start in 2 hours, guys. That is tomorrow. You have EMI and other options as well. Just select. You can see August 15 is the next batch that is going to start. Just select the batch and everything and just make the payment. The course is including taxes and everything. The code is this course is of 11,798, but you have an EMI options and other things as well. And if you enroll today, guys, you are getting 50% discount. Let me just show it to you. So this course is being offered at a price of 20,000, but if you'll enroll it now, you are getting a 50% discount of it as well, guys. So if you want to learn Python with every, you can say, libraries and everything, if you want to become master in that, just enroll for this course, guys. Sir, is C along with DSA useful in industry? Guys, C is a very old language. C is your, you can say, your functional oriented language. So I'll not recommend C for going for DSA, but if you are going with C++, then it is fine. Okay, Java plus DSA can give the best package. See, Java learning DSA won't get you into a good company. You have to learn some other languages as well. You have to go either in web development or in AI, ML, cyber securities, networking with DSA. So DSA is must for everything. If you are going for web development, if you are going for data science, if you are going for AI, if you are going for ML, if you are going for networking, cyber security, anywhere, the first step of every big four company is DSA part, guys. They'll just, or you can say, the first round that they will, you can say, place in front of you is the DSA part. So that's why DSA is compulsory for everything. Pro, I want to learn Django. Okay, Django is a backend framework for, you can say, Python to design web development. We have a course for web development as well. You can enroll over there. But Python is more famous for its AI, ML, and data science part. But if you want to learn web development, that is Django comes under web development part. So if you want to learn web development, we have a web development as well. You can go and check this syllabus of the web development. Okay, now let me just repeat that part, that I and J, and let's just end this session, guys. Okay, so we have to print this pattern, guys. This was the pattern that we were printing. Let me just remove this. So this was the pattern that we were printing, guys. So we have taken two loops. One is I loop and one is j loop. So what I is doing, I is taking care of rows, how many rows we have. So we have 5 rows over here, that is 1 2 3 4 and 5. So I want that this loop should start from 1 and go till 5. So if you'll see the code that I have written over here, what I've done is, in this part, if you see, I've started from 1 and I've ended till 6. That means I have to go plus 1. I've already informed, if you are going with the range, wherever you have to stop, I have to stop at 5. So you have to pass plus 1. So that's why 6. Now the j, the second loop that we are taking, that is, I hope that I part would be clear why we are taking I. So you can see at every line these stars are different. The first line is printing 1 star, second line is printing 2, third is printing 3, and then 4, and then 5. So whichever line it is, that many stars are being printed. So we have to have one more loop that is going to end at I value. That is, it is going to start from 1, but it has to be ended what exactly the value of the I is. So end condition must be this for this j. So that's why we have written, okay, start from 1 but end where I plus 1. That means if the I value is 1, I've already said that I have to end at 1. So we have to pass plus 1 for range. So that's why we are saying 1. So now why we are taking this second loop for this star, I've already informed. And once this is 1, first you can say 1 would be printed because j is equal to I and it is going to stop at I. Now 2, so j should end at 2. So 1 comma 2, so 2 stars would be printed. 3, so they j should end at 3, so 1 2 and 3. And then 4, then 1 2 3, and then 4, and then for 5, 1 2 3 4, and then 5. So this is how exactly this INJ concept was. So is this part clear? Guys, bootcamp is already ended. There is no, you can say, part regarding the bootcamp. I'm just clearing the doubts. Let me just block this. Okay. I'm just clearing the doubts of the students, guys. Bootcamp is already ended. You can leave the session. And now since it's 9:45, guys, so I'm also going to end this boot camp. So bye bye, guys. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. I hope that you have enjoyed and you have learned something from this boot camp. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you day after tomorrow, guys. Since there is a holiday, so there would be no session tomorrow. The tomorrow session would be conducted day after tomorrow, guys. Thank you for watching.